Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are in the world, and thanks for tuning in. It has been a long time since I've made a video. You may be going through my uploads and wondering why has it been over 4 years since I've been stacking cups on this channel. And so I thought I'd make a video while I have some free time to fill you in on what's going on. So my second latest stacking video was uploaded on February 28th, 2016. It's been over 4 years since I got that record, which is interesting because upon video review is actually a scratch, even at the time, due to one-handed down stack of the first three. Full credit goes to Stacker Boy XD for that one. I bet any seasoned stackers out there haven't heard that name in years. To my knowledge, he's since quit stacking and now does reaction videos on his new channel. Not my thing, but props to him for finding something he likes doing. Anywho, that video of mine was really big for me at the time because on that day, Michigan's overall regional record was 6.47 seconds for the cycle set by a Mr. Alex Schumann in November 30th of 2008. My god, I was only turning 10 when that record was set, and it would only be a couple of years before I would even begin stacking in grade school. So just to put in perspective how long that record sat. As a matter of fact, at the time, it had stood for over 8 years. Of course, until I got my personal record of 6.468 seconds. And I was determined to finally refresh the scoreboard. However, once I set that time, ADHD did its thing on my head, and I guess I put him away for a while. No rhyme or reason to it. I guess I just decided to sit on YouTube that day. Who knows? What I do know is that nearly directly after I stopped stacking, life started to pick up for me. And I mean pick up. I was finishing my junior year of high school, and I had to start working once I was out for the year. And I almost completely eradicated stacking from my brain, and that's how things stood up until recently. So, I guess I ought to fill you in what's happened between then and now. In September following my last stacking upload, I began my senior year in high school, which was amazing to its fullest extent. Minus the part where I flunked a bunch of core classes and almost didn't graduate. Everything else was great. I got a chance to visit the Dominican Republic on a work trip for the school. We were one of a few crews that would work on site to build houses for the needy in some of the barrios of Santo Domingo, and it was a really gratifying experience. By the way, I was not there for religious purposes, though some were, and that was the main intent of the trip. I just was there for the experience and to help folks who really needed it, and to get a week off of school, but mostly to help people who needed it. This is the wonderful thing about having no quiet space to record audio. You get crap like that. In the following March, I picked up a job at my local Ace Hardware, which can be seen in my latest Christmas special with NPOM, and in this photo of me purposefully staring at the Street View camera very intensely. That was on Google servers for like 4 months. While I was at Ace, I got another travel opportunity, this time to South Carolina, to witness the 2017 total solar eclipse with some of my extended family that I'd never met before. That was a trip of a lifetime. I was never happier. And if you might have seen my eclipse video, that is actually quite by a landslide my most popular video on this channel with over 150,000 views. And it was actually the first video that I ever made money off of. And I was lucky to make that money before YouTube decided to change their policy on how many subscribers you needed to even think about getting AdSense. I worked at Ace until December of 2017 when I was offered a job at a local General Motors dealership as a lube tech, where I changed oil and sold auto parts for about 5 months. I also got to film some of the ads for them with the owner, who was with the team and I in the Dominican. I was really lucky to get that position at his business, but I didn't really see it that way at the time, and I wasted a lot of company time there. Turns out that I wasn't really needed there, and I'm pretty sure that the owner just gave me a job to be nice, but I'm not really sure if I want to ask him about that, for social reasons. Yeah, I spent a lot of time there just cleaning the place up, scrubbing floors that didn't need to be scrubbed, painting walls that didn't need to be painted, and working at the parts desk with my favorite manager to date. His name's Tim. Here's a video of me putting him in a box. On the clock.
Just hold on to this for the UPS guy, okay?
Needless to say, I got fired from my prestigious position there, and soon I found myself jobless and hopeless. I'd been saving pretty much all of my income while I was still living at my parents' house so that I could save up for school to go to Germany, so I could study the German language in the city of Cologne, which would in turn allow for me to, in a much easier way, get a very inexpensive quality German degree at a college that has almost no tuition costs whatsoever. That was my plan for life, and I wasn't really sure what degree I wanted to get at that time. But that pretty much fell through because once I got fired, all I did was sit at home and burn through my savings. And it wasn't even like I was buying cups. Once I had gotten to the last penny in my savings account, I had really realized what a terrible position I was in, both physically and mentally. I had found myself a total slob, and I wasn't really taking care of myself, and I ended up finding myself in an abusive relationship for about 2 months, which is a far cry from anything that most other people might be going through with an abusive relationship, but it still had its effects on me nonetheless. And once I really woke up, I realized I had to get myself back on my feet, and so I started putting applications out. I think I put about 6 out, and then I found a job at another oil change place, which turned into my current job as a tire technician and gas attendant at the local marathon. So things have worked out, and I've been working there for the last, I'd say, 18 months for the company, which is my longest lasting job to date. I also found myself another much better relationship for myself, and we've still been going strong to this day. Mwah, 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 I love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. As you can see, my life has been pretty hectic over the last few years. To be honest, the roller coaster hasn't stopped yet, as I'm currently dealing with my mental health as I've been my whole adult life. Depression has taken its toll on me over the years, and I'm doing all I can to combat it every day. But I'm glad to report that things are most certainly on the up and up. I'm talking with my doctor on a bi-weekly basis, and we're getting a diagnosis figured out so that I can see some sorts of solutions and just in general get better. As a matter of fact, stacking has seemed to greatly reduce my depressive symptoms since continuing in January. It gives me something to look forward to at the end of the workday other than, you know, boring adult stuff and chores, you know. Alright, now that I went through every detail of my life since 2016, allow me to show you some of my current records. My 333 has been very slightly reduced to a 185.9 compared to 2016's 191. My 363 stands at 226.1, a mere 25th of a second from my 230. And finally, my cycle, which was unfortunately not recorded at 6.066 seconds. That one hurt not to have on tape, but I had to practice. And basically, we all know the struggle of having low storage on our phones, especially with the way I record for 45 minutes at a time, almost daily, and then I will refuse to delete anything from my camera roll or my SD card or anything like that. But luckily, I do have a 4 terabyte hard drive backup, and with how much storage is on my phone of 256 gigabytes, I have enough room right now to do about 7 full filled up storage transfers, which takes, you know, a couple months at a time. So I'm going to be going strong for the next year or so, just as long as I keep up on it over time. All right, folks, that has been my returning update. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really glad for a lot of the people who have stuck with this channel over the last few years. I know that a lot of you may be just getting a bunch of maybe push notifications from a channel that you maybe forgot about, which is okay. If this isn't your thing anymore, then, you know, feel free to unsubscribe. But if it is your thing and you're a new viewer, definitely consider subscribing and hitting the bell. And until I break a new record, you can expect to find much more content from me in the near future. Whether it's a short 15-second clip of a good 6 that I got on a cycle, or if it's an entire tournament video, which I am planning to go to some tournaments. I've actually got, I actually do have the Windy City Open in the works right now. I'm working on going to my first sanctioned tournament ever, which is just like, so keep an eye out for that. And until then, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.